everything that we need. We got one of the best games of all time. Of course, no one knows about the Pikachu movie because the Pikachu must be everywhere. That's definitely an important amiibo. We got the Skylander that everyone knows, a Shadow the Hedgehog Ultimate, and one of the most underrated DS games there is. Now, the set collected, I made things to top it. So I should probably do the topic and then the set. Many of my favorite video game chaos. That's a good topic, feel like it. But that seems like a big thing for like a different number, like a sort of number reach, or an anniversary or something. So let's X that one out. Maybe a franchise countdown like Mario month or Sonic month. No, those can wait. We can get to those later. This is the first video, we don't need something that huge yet. Maybe something negative. If you if you rag on bad stuff, no, I want to be a positive influence, at least at first. So what can I do? Johnny Yoshi, do you got an idea? Thanks, Johnny Yoshi. This is a great idea. The Switch 2 is very Switch in general. It's a very popular console. It's not a bad idea for first video. But wait, you don't got any thumbs. How can you hold it? And I would never put any of your games on this list. Hey, Johnny Yoshi, I didn't mean like that. Well, because we got to start saying one thing or another, so, play the intro. 'Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I still lay awake and I dream of the next solution. 'Cause every night I will make it right, and every night I will come to you. But every night it just stays the same in my dream of the next solution. Ever since it came out in the year of 2017, the Nintendo Switch has been one of the best-selling consoles and has been quite popular, including a lot of great games on it. It's been one of those popular consoles after all in the last 10 years. We're touring almost 10 years by the time this video is coming out. Meanwhile, there's the Switch 2 that just turned 1 year old, so still a little baby in the console world at least. During this last whole decade, the Switch has made a lot of games during that time, and they can differ from quality to quality, of course. Some of these games are the best of a generation, and we'll be talking for years to come to several people and to be remembered fondly on this list. While others are, not the best. That's why we're not talking about them this time around. What counts for this list is that, firstly, a game must come within 1 month of release. So, for example, Sonic Frontiers came out 1 month from when it was released onto the Switch, so therefore, it counts for the list. But say something like Untitled, for example, since it did not come out on release and didn't take a month, it does not qualify. One day I'll talk about you. Today's not the day. But wait, your moment will come, Untitled. Your moment will come. Another rule for this countdown is 1 game per franchise. For example, there were many Pokemon games that came out during this generation of the Switch, but only 1 mainline Pokemon game can make the cut. Spin-offs are allowed though to be in this entry. But for Mario, it's a little different. Since there's so many spin-offs, he can also have 1 3D Mario game and 1 2D Mario game, including his friends' games, of course. Man, these rules are kind of complicated. Maybe I should have done a different topic. Nah, this is what Johnny Yoshi would have wanted. I want to fulfill that wish of Johnny Yoshi. So, without further ado, these are my top 20 favorite Switch games. So, let's light it up!
Colors weave into a spire of flame. Distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying light.
Let's go back to one of the darkest years in the human races. Yeah, that's correct. The year was 2020. Jeez, just saying it gives me bad vibes. But thankfully, there was one hope in the dark year. And that hope was a little town building game. That's a very good hope, but it did exist. Yes, while everyone had to be inside the houses during the pandemic, a new game came out, that being Animal Crossing's New Horizon. It gave us some much needed entertainment in the dark times.
This game was a lot like the past Animal Crossing experiences. You get your own, town, you start building it up. That's how it's different. But there's a new feature that makes it even better than past games, and it's very much a fan favorite one that is appreciated by all.
Finally, avoid paying my taxes to Thomas Nook.
Maybe one day we can not pay our taxes to Thomas Nook. So no, it was not in this game. But however, a new feature was added. You had to make your islands from scratch, and that made it new since in the previous game you would just boom, put on an island, it was already waiting for you. But now there's multiplayer, so you can play online with your friends, which can make memories even last longer in this game and have more replayability than before in past games.
This made a new, fun way that was even better than past games of Animal Crossing. So, why is it so low down on this list?
Despite it being a very fun game, it does become eventually very samey. But there are other life simulator games that I just before. But during 2020, it was the escape from reality that everyone desperately needed during that time. It was very much appreciated. And that is why it should be on here. Despite tougher competition, it gets on here for being there for when we need it most in 2020 and carry us through it. However, there are much better games on Switch that are worth buying this one, but it always has a place in Switch players' hearts the most.
So on the Switch, there were 3 Mario Parties. I only got 2 here because one was digital. We got Super Mario, Mario Party Superstars, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Super Mario Party. A tough choice, but I can make it work.
Super Mario Party is definitely out for a bunch of reasons. Firstly, sure, there's a bunch of characters in here, but there's not enough boards, there's only like 4 of them, and the charm, it's really like in that Mario style that most Mario Parties have. The minigames feel generic and not really Mario Party, so there's no chance of winning this horse race. Then on the flip side, there's the newest one that came out a few years ago called Super Mario Party Jamboree. It is fun and definitely a step up from Super Mario Party. However, there's so much bull that goes on in that game that can screw people out and give you just so many stars randomly that there's no way it's a serious threat to win it. So I guess that only leaves one option out of everything that remains. For years, decades even, people wanted a Mario Party celebration type of game. There was one on the DS called the Mario Party Top 100, but that one was just a minigame compilation. But Mario Party Superstars, that was the perfect collection of past Mario Party games with different boards and different minigames from the classic era that people would love because of the nostalgia it would have. And it worked really well, actually.
There's so many classic minigames in this game, and could be considered a perfect Mario Party. However, there are problems with it.
Well, one of the faults was the small cast of only 10 characters to choose from, which was a pretty big problem considering Super Mario Party, the game first, had over 20 characters, and also the fact that you can only choose 5 classic boards, only from the N64 era and not from the GameCube or even the Wii era because they had unique choices for them. However, there was a good amount of classic minigames that everyone from the past enjoyed. Sure, they were not all hits, but most of them were very much hits and went well for fans of the Mario Party franchise. And another plus for Mario Party Superstars, there's still enough fuckery going on that feels like classic Mario Party, which makes it ultimately get the win after 3 choices at the start. Good job, Superstars. I think you deserve a very well award for this.
And here's your participation trophy, Mario Party Superstars, for being the best Mario Party on the Switch. There's a very low bar for you. Long years, people want another game of the day popular franchise. No, it wasn't Star Fox. No, it wasn't F-Zero. It was the one and only franchise, Princess Peach games. However, the one on the Switch is actually quite good.
Give us Mother 3! How about this instead?
While I've never played the game on the DS because it doesn't look the best, but Princess Peach Showtime, on the other hand, is very great to play for a multitude of reasons. First of all, the story is actually kind of investing once you get into it, and there's so many different ways to play because of, well, the different power-ups that I use during the game. Since this game does take place in a theater, her powers are based off different type of genres of shows that could be in a theater, which would be a wide variety of different shows. For example, the one shown right now is a Western-themed show, which is a very generic one, but that's not all. There's different types of themes, such as A mystery theme for the Sherlock Holmes levels of the world. A superhero theme for all those people like superhero theater shows, of course. And the most popular type of theater show, the baking theater show. Alright, that was a bit swing.
Well, to be fair, I did do a whole show about Art Alley, so I'm sure there was not a male person feature as a power-up. That's a very small type of show.
Every level feels unique, like it's its own different type of story, and the gameplay keeps freshening up every time, so you never know what you will get from it. It's not very long here, of course, but it's very enjoyable and quick to play, and fans will love it. But much like Mario Party Superstars, I wish there was more to it. Like, there's no DLC to it, there's no nothing. But it should be a must for the Switch. Another good thing about the game is the first one to take Peach very seriously as a protagonist instead of giving her power-ups that are not really good power-ups, just like joke ones. One of her power-ups in the first game was just a power that makes her cry. Like, this game is definitely an upgrade from the one on the DS, so Princess Peach Showtime, really good get.
This game will inspire new attacks to Smash Bros. That do not involve a frying pan.
Alright, next up we have a Fire Emblem game, but sadly it will not be Three Houses because I'm in the middle of playing it and have had a great time playing it. However, since I've not fully completed it, it should not qualify for this. It is a great game, and I'm sure if I did remake the list, it would definitely be high up there.
Sadly, while Three Houses not qualify the list because I have not beat it, don't worry, you'll probably be here if I redo the list a few years from now. That means Engage does make the list because I did beat it.
First up, the bad stuff about this game. The story is not the best as it's usually been with Fire Emblem. Usually they've been pumping up great stories, but this one, it's lacking. Mainly because the characters are very well known, except for some, well, exceptions to the rule. Some actually are quite good characters, just in a not good story type of game. No. What this game does correctly, though, is the combat and the gameplay. The combat is some of the best it's ever been, and the animations for every move is like they hit hard and look the best they ever have it before in any of the Fire Emblem games. It's like something out of a movie, or at least like a PlayStation game, but this is beautiful, love it. And one of the main gimmicks of this game is, of course, everyone's favorite use, nostalgia.
Hey, what kind of toppings you want? I don't care. No, wait, I didn't mean that!
Despite it being a mixed bag, the nostalgia of this game is used correctly though. Wish we knew how they got into the wings exactly, but
using the nostalgia characters correctly feels very satisfying and fun. Sure, of course, it seems very generic to use, so you can get some extra money out of using past characters that people love. But the new attacks they make for the new characters make sense, and they feel well worth the price, of course. So yeah, Engage is not as good as Three Houses. Once I finish Three Houses, this game would definitely go down a few tiers. But Engage is worth trying out as a first Fire Emblem game, and it's a nice addition to the series. So Engage is just a good game in general, great combat, but don't split up into the story. It's kind of lacking, at least in that department.
now the real question is the new game coming out this summer worth $80? Debatable. Debatable is the right word for that. Mysterious Man? Thank you, Mysterious Man. So let's see, okay. Huh. It says July. No, that can't possibly be right. That can't be right. Oh, I mean, maybe a different month is. No, that's all right, man. That's okay. Ah, there's the mistake right there. It wasn't meant to be July. It's meant to be spooky month of October.
Ah yes, our first jump to the spooky game of horror. Ooh, Halloween, skeletons and ghosts and deer creatures are upon us. What kind of spooks could be awaiting us in the future? What could possibly await us? Around the corner we crawl. Is it a little badge with his little sons jump scaring us? Is the man behind the slaughter here? Or is it just a simple ghost? Ooh, then I must know the answer. I must know the clue to it.
Oh yeah! Ho ho! I did it! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Well, that's not what I meant by ghost, but you know what? I'll take it. Yeah, Luigi, that works. That works for me, pal.
Well, the first to second game took 11 years, but the second to the third game only took 6 years. So you see, that's an improvement.
In the past two games, Luigi had to conquer mansions, but now we've upgraded to a beautiful hotel, baby. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's a surprising twist from the last two games. You know what? They gambled on the card table, and guess what? It worked off. It was a hit. I mean, this hotel, it's got everything you need. Why go to the beach when you can just go a few floors and go right to the desert? That's got sand everywhere you need to look, and some pyramids too. I mean, what hotel's not complete without the museum portion, where you can look at the old dinosaurs that used to walk upon the earth before our time? Glorious. And of course, if you just want to go ahead and boogie, all you gotta do is go with some floors and you'll see the DJ with some good beats so you can get down and boogie and dance. I mean, look at them go! Look at the ghosts go! I mean, Luigi won this trip. He has deserved it. He's worked so hard. And you know what? He brought his best dog with him. And that's not all, buddy. He brought his whole friend group with him. And I bet his friends are going to enjoy the vacation as much as him. And nothing bad is going to happen on this vacation. Oh my goodness, everything wrong. Mario got kidnapped, the princess got kidnapped again, Luigi can never catch a break. He just wanted a nice hotel with his doggo in West, and now he's gotta fight Ghost again.
One day, the green guy will get a day off eventually from stopping Goombas and getting ghosts like it's the 90s.
Alright, in terms of the actual game, instead of all the different types of floors, the game is a very unique style, and that brings its own type of charm. It also has great gameplay, and the bosses, as the piano one right here, is very unique and different. Every floor has its own type of theme, and that makes a different type of boss. I love that. It's so unique. It keeps you on your toes of what could be the next thing coming around the corner. Plus, this game is jam-packed with puzzles. If you like puzzle gaming, this is definitely a good start for you, because puzzles can be seen from left to right in almost every single level. Therefore, it keeps it unique. There's so much content, it's going to take you hours to complete it all, but trust me, it'll be well worth it.
Oh, the perfect game for spooky season. Now I need to fix my mumps again. Maggot, we'll talk about you eventually. How about for once, we focus on a different game made by the people of the same company, Spike Chunsoft, okay?
Everyone knows Spike Chunsoft's biggest work, that being Danganronpa, but for once, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the other game they made, and possibly the best non-Danganronpa game they made, and that is a different type of mystery solver, and that is called Rain Code.
It's a pretty long title. How about we just... There we go. That's the time for the game right there.
Now, Rain Code does take a different spin than Danganronpa, but it works out really well for this game because it focuses on being a detective and just being a high school trying to solve murders. So therefore, that's a plus side. Love it, but at least it's unique and different from its base series, okay? We got the main guy, you know, the main detective, who's just a rookie, Yuma Coco Head. You know, he did something casual. He doesn't have anything in the noggin. He's forgotten all about his past life, but don't worry, he just casually made a deal with death. Yeah, just death.
They got a great deal. Forget anything about your life and become pals with death itself.
One of the many positives about this game is the cast of characters. They are so unique and bright from each other. You can really tell the differences they have with each other. Sure, one might seem like the other, but they all have different quirks that make them them. This is a character-driven game, and not knowing the characters means you're not getting the full experience. So learn about them more, and you'll start to like them more. Even if you know some of them for a short time. I mean, people do die in this game. It's come to expect it from the people who made Danganronpa.
Of course, there's a problem with some of the characters that you like will die, but don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything here. I don't spoil stuff. I'm an honest man, okay?
Now, what makes this game unique and very different and boom, shakalaka, in a good way is the mystery labyrinth. It's simple. In order to solve the crime, you must go in a lab with a partner from the WHO so you can solve the case even better, using combat, seeing what's especially about the scheme, and eventually, bam, you'll figure out who did it, and it is so satisfying, even though your partner won't remember the events that happened. Because of this game's small main cast and recording cast, you can feel more connected to them, more close to them, and you care about them more as the game progresses on. That's what makes it so unique. It feels like you know them, like they're actually like friends you would know in real life. And minus the characters and the fun little antics they have, the cases, all of them are so unique and different from one another. They're all beautiful. They all cater in such different ways to any type of, you know, hobby or something. Even those simple things could be a case. And that's the charm of Rain Code and why it's such an underrated gem in my opinion.
Now, will it ever get a sequel? That is the real mystery about the game. Okay, the next game is at point, but it has two different features make a stand out and count for this type of list, so I'll allow it.
When talking about the vast world of the Mii games, most people go back to the Wii because that was the most popular time to, make Miis. Of course, there was the great, not rip-off of Mario Party, Wii Party, which is a bunch of Wham stuff, but hey, it was very much a hit and success even during the pandemic years. And then there's the most popular one of them all, one of the best-selling games of all time, and especially in the 2000s, Wii Sports, where you can go bowling, golfing, and all that. But there's always some forgotten ones, and the one we're talking about today is, in my opinion, the most underrated of the whole bunch. That is correct. We are talking about Miitopia, a game where replayability is an all-time high with all the different Miis you can make. It's countless. It's so unique. I mean, there's the classic RPG story types of the warrior, the thief. There's also the cook, the pop star, of course, the cat, the most popular of all the RPG roles. Plus, the Miis look better than ever before because of the new makeup feature, which makes them look more themselves and not like, oh my goodness, my glasses on my ears. No. Now you can actually customize them to the full potential. Like some other video games, such as Sans from Undertale over here. Look at him. It's Sans with a little bone and all that. And you can also make the most handsome of them all. Handsome Squirrel is impeccable. Cheekbones popping out. Now this is what Nintendo should have always been about. Handsome Squidward. Another good thing about the game is the story is very simple, but it works for this type of game. It's not maybe a complex story, it's just Miitopia, and that works really well. Plus the gameplay and combat for the RPG is also another high point of it. That's the features that are great about Miitopia.
Heck yeah, this is a great game for first-time RPG lovers, but we can't forget about the best feature.
Wanted a real diamond engagement ring?
Oh my god!
That's right, I bought a horse!
Oh yeah, that right there, that's the most important part of the port. A horse, baby. Everybody wants to play as a farm animal you can see driving past, because that's what Miis are all about, horses. That's what the people will buy the game for, horses. But in all seriousness, the horse does make it very unique. It does have some new moves that do pack a punch. And the special moves can be quite useful and take down big bosses, so using horse does have some upsides, and growing relations with horse is also important for the game. All the things from the DS game is still here in this port. That makes it so unique and different, but it has upgrades that makes it even better than the DS one. If only it was higher, because the Switch has a lot of great games. And Miitopia should have been higher, but there's so many good games it gets bumped down to 14. But either way, it's still a fun time and a very unique, different RPG experience. Plus, there's also the polar balance of story and goofiness of the game that can be played with friends or alone. Either way, there'll be tons of fun to have. And the bosses, they're also great and very unique and different and could provide some challenge, especially the big bad final boss that could take hours to defeat. And that's why it's worth playing it.
Hopefully you don't take as long as Tomodachi Life took to get a sequel. It's gonna take 2 decades, isn't it?
Man, can't believe the Switch got not one, but 2 WarioWare games, and both of them are pretty solid and pretty good, I would say, but I gotta choose one or the other. It's a tough choice. I mean, we got Gear Together, and we got Move It, which could be considered a throwback game to smooth moves on the Wii, so man, both of them are well-liked, fan favorites. Let me talk about it quickly.
You can either move it, or we gotta get together. Out of the two, I'd rather get my stuff together, though.
Now, what makes Get Together so unique and different from other Wario games is that normally you're just a guy behind the screen playing the game, but in this game you take control of the characters playing the micro games. They all have different play styles, all unique. Some are great at solo micro games, some not so much. It really depends. There's even a tier list out there for this. Unlike other WarioWare games, you actually get to play with your friends as well, not just by yourself. Like before, this game has like over 200 different micro games, and they all feel unique and different from each other. Some are Nintendo classics, some are culture, some are food, some are nature. Whatever it is, it's probably a micro game, and you can probably play it if you pick up a Switch right now. And they're all different. Plus, you can play with buddies, so that's double points. Another thing this game has is quite possibly the greatest character of them all, and that is Jimothy T. I mean, look at him go in those dance moves. Everyone should be Jimmy T. And if there's a game with Jimmy T in it, you should be playing as him, because he is the best there is and the best there is. You should play him in every game. Put him in Smash Bros. And he can boogie. However, one of the weaker parts of this game is the story. I mean, Wario Gold is fully voice acted and so is Movie, but this game not fully voice acted for some reason. The cutscenes, a little bit cheap, but hey, story is not Wario's strong suit. It's like not even a top 5 thing to worry about when you're playing the Wario game, so it gets a pass. Just hopefully the next game is fully voice acted.
It wasn't for those dread skateboards to be high, but 9-volt.
While some different playstyles can be fun and good, 9 volts in particular are more difficult to control because he's always moving and that makes him a target all the time and very easy to fail Mario games with, and just not fun to play with at all. And it can be such a chore trying to get all the different micro games. It could take hours or days, maybe even weeks because there's so many of them. Eventually you start playing the same ones over and over again, it gets repetitive, so that definitely does it a few points. But the great things the game does definitely overpowers the bad things it does. The soundtrack is good, the gameplay is fun, and plus you can play with friends and have some dumb fun for a few hours. It's a great game for the Switch and quite possibly the best Wario of them all up to this point. That's a great improvement, Wario. You're off to a great start.
Now, to answer the question, did we really get together? No, we did not. Because Wario could never get together. He was about money, and God, and that's it. The others did, though. Oh boy. The first game of the Switch 2's lifespan was Mario Kart. And the price, it was controversial to begin with.
In terms of the actual game, I mean, it is fun to play at the very least. And that's why it's so high up on this list in the first place because of the gameplay. Let me start by saying this. $8 for a racing game is ridiculous. Okay, I don't care if you're the greatest racing game on the planet Earth, you should not be worth $80. That being said, if this game was a normal price, it is very fun and enjoyable to play. Plus, it's now up to 24 players playing in a race. It makes it more chaotic and challenging, which could be annoying if you lose and go down. But see, it's so satisfying seeing yourself go all the way up there and climbing despite everything, all the challenges. And if you win it in the new knockout mode, that's the best feeling right there. And winning Grand Prix, more satisfying enough. So despite the absurd price, it definitely is a lot of fun, and a new mode spices it up.
There are more costumes than ever before. Thankfully, they all feel unique and not just copy and pasted from character.
What makes Mario Kart fun, though, is the characters. Of course, we get the mainstay, the Mario Bros, the Princesses, the Wario Bros, and the Bowser of the world. But in this game, they decided to spice it up and make it more wackier than usual. And some of the picks, despite being, a bit ridiculous, it's very funny to see playing. I mean, this game has one of the characters being a farm animal. A gosh diddly darn cow is an option to play in this game. And seeing a cow do some tricks on a bike or just riding a car in general is just a hilarious visual to see. I mean, he's got a feather, look at him go. Plus, this game has the fan favorite, Spike!
Who the fuck is Spike? I've never heard of Spike. Have you heard of Spike?
No.
Nobody's heard of Spike! Was there such a demand that they put—
The funniest part about this is that Kamek was DLC in the last game, but in this game, Kamek's just an item to make people different enemies from Mario.
One day, he could launch a race. Unless he wants to still be useless and keep to the side of the road.
Another one of the good things about this game are the courses are fun and unique to play as. Some of them are great new additions to the whole franchise as a whole, and hopefully we'll see them as retro tracks in general. Speaking of retro tracks, they bring so much nostalgia, and I don't care. The Wii tracks, just seeing them again, because Mario Kart Wii is one of my favorite Mario Kart games, it makes me smile because I love them so much. That being Moo Moo Meadows or Toad's Factory just brings me a joy again. If only Nintendo would give this game DLC or any type of additional content, that would make it so much better. But when games Switch 2, despite the $80 price tag, this is a great game, and it's a great way to start off the Switch 2's lifespan.
Maybe it was worth $80 after all. Nah, that's crazy. Sure has Fishbone, but it doesn't have the greatest kid of them all, Jimmy T.
After 2 long and bad decades for the Blue Ball Sonic the Hedgehog, where things have not been going great for them at all, being bad games, bad marketing, Sonic Boom the game, Sonic 06, Sonic Forces, the list can keep going on. Things are looking very bad for them in general. But in the 2020s alone, the recent times of Sonic have been going great. He's been getting his own movie trilogy, he's been having great games, things are looking up for the Blue Blow himself.
Fantastic for Sonic fans. Hopefully that means there's no more bad games we can read.
But the standout game for the decade for Sonic would absolutely have to be that game right there. That is what Sonic fans, after 2 whole decades of almost nothing good, were waiting for. A great open adventure Sonic game.
Some of the boss fights in the game are some of the best in Sonic's history. And plus, waiting only to use them in Super Sonic mode makes it even more epic and hyper to fight as.
Then there was the fantastic, phenomenal soundtrack. When it's calm, it's just so soothing and peaceful, and just makes you feel like you're running through the clouds, just having a good time being Sonic, the fastest thing alive. It feels just so peaceful and love it. But when those boss fights start and you hear that music, that chorus, those lyrics, that's when the adrenaline starts pumping and it just feels action-packed with straight bangers of music, one after the other for every boss fight. It keeps getting better, and then there comes the sad songs at the end that just goes right to the heart. And then there's a story, one of the most phenomenal stories in Sonic since like the Adventure days. Even though it's not the most funniest project songs that I made, that's gotta be the Sonic Boom TV show.
The soup is cold and the salad is hot. How is that even possible?
But comedy is needed, okay?
Every single character in this feels like an upgrade from the past selves. Eggman, who's of course still evil and brilliant as ever, but now starts to have a softer side because of kind of being adapted to Sage, who's makes him more developed than before. And Sage in this game is a great addition. Sure, she starts as the one-note basic robot character, but during the game starts to understand people more and becomes more of a human than ever before slightly not having the best fate at the end.
Heck, even Sonic's friends go through their own individual arcs. For a good example, Amy starts to understand Sonic more and becomes less obsessed with him over time. That's development.
Knuckles, for the first time in a very long time, does not feel like a buffoon who doesn't know what he's doing. It feels more like Sonic's rival again, like he was originally. Sure, they might be enemies at times, but they have just nice fun with each other. And then there's Tails, who after being kind of useless lately and he starts doubting himself more, but Sonic tells him to get back up and feel better. He's still a kid, he's still growing, he has a lot to learn from, but he knows that one day Tails will be useful, and Tails feels better about himself. Heck, even Sonic feels different to an extent. He feels less jokey and more serious because he wants to get out here and see his friends again, and he also wants to help Eggman and Sage get out of here as well because he cares about them. That's the most serious side of Sonic that I like about him. And the voice direction, even though at first it takes a little bit to get used to, once you're used to it, you love it from watching Craig Smith. It's just great. I really wish, I was really hoping for it to crack the top 10, but there are just so many great, amazing Switch games out there, it just barely miss it. For the hype boss fights, for the great story, for the good characterization, for the great new character, and for the bang soundtrack alone, it belongs in the top 11, almost top 10 game, but no matter what, it's still a great game for any console, and it definitely works well for the Switch. It's a must-buy and one of the best Sonic games in recent memories, and probably one of the best of the whole generation we will have.
LightingTale, and while that's only the first half of the list, we still have the second, aka the top 10 part of it, coming out hopefully by the end of the month. And before I go, have fun guessing what the top 10 could be. And don't forget to be electric.